and welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. I'm very pleased to introduce to you three guests with me here this morning. They are part of the Global Connect Exchange program and are being hosted by the Utah Council for Citizen Diplomacy. I have to my left, right there in the middle, Mr. Hafiz Abdul Ghani, correct?
Yes.
And then to my left, Mr. Saeed Hussein Rizvi.
Yes.
And then right there on the end, we have a Mr. Khawaja Suja Abbas. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me this morning. And this is your first time in Utah,
Yeah,
correct?
it's my first time.
Yes.
Very
that's
good.
correct.
And first time, have you guys, and I'm assuming being in Park City, what has been your impression so far being in Utah?
Utah is an excellent, beautiful state. We met some people, they are very humble, they are very peace-loving people, and they are a bit religious people here as compared to other states of United States. We went to some place and we had a good experience of interfaith and peace and other things also. We visited Utah State Council. It was beautiful. The lady gave a beautiful tour there. We had a good experience. The people in the hotel are very generous, peace-loving and loving. It is a very glad thing to meet the people of Utah, and they are very good people, and they love everything. They love. We have seen the conduct of Utah Christians with Muslims. It's worth praising, and it's extremely good society in Utah.
I'm so glad to hear that. So to kind of do a brief overview, and of course being from Pakistan and natively, it stands as one of the most populated countries in the world, and the majority of citizens are of Islamic leaning religion. And coming from a country that is dominantly one religion, tell me about your experience growing up around that, where everyone pretty much shared the same background and thoughts. Let's start with you, sir.
Oh, well, in Pakistan, we have most of the people who belongs to Islam, and about 97% people are Muslim. So it's good to live in a community, but we don't have a diverse experience when we live in such a high majority in a country. So it is, to some extent, it is rigid and static. So diversity is not very high in Pakistan. So it is different here in the U.S.
What about you, sir? Your thoughts on growing up in a country where most people are Muslim?
Yes, in a society where there is a predominant, it is possible a section of that society, as we see everywhere, can be aggressive to other faiths. But in a state here, people belong to different faiths, and they have better experience, and they appreciate to live together, and they believe in human dignity.
Thank you. And Mr. Rizvi, what are your thoughts on the importance of having interfaith dialogue based off of your experience and coming here in terms of religious pluralism?
It's the need of the hour. You can't live without interfaith dialogue in the world. You see, hundreds and thousands of people have been murdered so far in the world because of the lack of interfaith dialogue. So it's very important. If you want a peaceful and good society, you have to go to the interfaith dialogue. It's happening in Pakistan, and we have witnessed in the United States also. We are very happy that good emphasis is being given on interfaith, and work is being done. And we have met so many people who are working for this, so many organizations, non-profiting organizations. Government is also helping them. If you want a peaceful life, if you want a good life, you will have to go through the interfaith dialogue.
Thank you. And kind of along the same line of things, Mr. Ghani, what are your thoughts and feelings about religious pluralism in the United States? What have you seen so far?
It is quite contrary to my expectation. What I was expecting in the U.S., I was not expecting that the diversity or religious diversity would be so high in the US. So religious pluralism is a wonderful thing here, and we have learned so many things from people, and especially we appreciate how this pluralism is maintained by the people of the United States, and especially most of the organizations they are working here. They are very sensitive to religion, especially they believe in freedom of religion, and they respect religious diversity, and they cooperate with the government, and government cooperates with the people. So I think that this is a model state for pluralism. So it is very, very good experience for us.
I'm glad to hear that. Mr. Abbas, what are your thoughts on seeing religious pluralism in the U.S.?
It is very amazing. It is very amazing, worth following. Because if we want to live in a locality and there should be harmony, then we must believe in pluralism. And in USA, people and intelligentsia is giving great emphasis, and they are educating people, and I am greatly amazed by it.
I'm glad to hear that your experiences have been positive here thus far. Tell me, you mentioned this a little bit before, about your experiences so far in being here in the U.S. For all of you, how long have you been here so far?
I think 10 days.
10 days?
Yeah.
How has that 10 days changed your perception of the United States? Let's start off with you.
It's a good question. There's a misunderstanding regarding the United States in the Muslim world. Although that is because of the foreign policy of the United States, but we generally in our society see what United States does in foreign policy, and we make an image of the United States. But when we reached here in the United States and watched the society and the society, it's quite different. People are very generous. People are religious loving. It's contrary to what I was thinking, that perhaps it is a irreligious society, but it is not. It's a very religious society, especially in here. People are peace loving. You are free to build a mosque, build a synagogue, build a temple. Nobody is going to interfere in your religious affairs or in your personal affairs. You have got a freedom to speech, freedom to express yourself. It's worth praising and worth seeing. Everybody should see it. They should not consider the society of United States vis-a-vis foreign policy. Foreign policy is a different thing, but the society is very generous overall, I've seen.
Glad to hear that. Thank you for sharing that. Mr. Abbas, what are your thoughts, or how has your perception changed being here in the United States over the past 10 days?
I have been greatly impressed by certain aspects of the American society. The most interesting aspect of their society is that they believe in the liberty of human being, liberty to express, liberty to religion, and they don't interfere in other individuals' personal life. This has impressed me greatly. It is worth following.
Wow, thank you. What about you, sir?
For me, there are many things which I was not expecting, or they are beyond my expectation.
Like
Especially, I was not expecting that the country is so religious. And we came to know that about 90% or more than 90% people are religious in the US. So religiosity is a very good aspect of this society, which we have come to know when we came here. So this is a wonderful thing which has changed my perception about the society. Number two, I think that the society is more civilized than we were expecting that it is civilized. This is more than that. And especially we have noticed that Muslims are very happy here, and they contribute towards the community building and socio-economic development of the country, and they are quite happy here. And all these things, they have changed our perception about this country, and people and now we can distinguish between the government and the people of USA.
Wow.
So people are very nice, country is very nice, and this is quite a different which we were expecting sitting in Pakistan.
Well, I hope that your short time here in Park City will be just as pleasant for all of you. And I have to ask you guys, what do you guys think of American food?
Food is totally different. But
Do you have a favorite thing or anything that you've tried that you've been like, oh, this is terrible? What do you think so far?
A person coming from Pakistan, I don't think he will like the food of America because we have spicy foods in Pakistan and it's quite different. But it is healthy food.
What do you think?
I have tried many things. I like most of the things, but calories are very high.
Oh yeah, that is very true. We're working on that. We're trying to fix that.
So I myself am very careful about when I take American food.
You're going to go back to Pakistan 5 pounds higher.
Obviously, but I don't want to gain weight.
Yeah, no, you don't.
So that's why I'm careful. I appreciate, however, they have got a variety of food, and Americans they enjoy their food, and it looks good to us.
It is good. Mr. Abbas, what about you? What have been your thoughts about American culture in terms of food?
USA is a world in itself. It's a pluralistic society, and I have seen a great variety of food here. And wherever we went, we got easily the food of our country, Pakistani food, South Asian food. I like it very much.
Good, glad to hear that. And I'm sure you guys have heard a thing or two about the presidential election, right? And I want to know if you'd be willing to share your feelings about the election. Obviously, it's one of the biggest in American history going on right now between Mitt Romney and President Obama. What are your thoughts with what's going on, Mr. Abbas? Let's start with you. With the U.S. presidential election.
Yes,
do you have any thoughts about that?
We expect whoever it is the choice of the American people, whoever is elected, we expect that the relations between Pakistan and America will improve, and there will be peace in Afghanistan, and U.S. forces will withdraw from Afghanistan, and then they will remain engaged there. They will not retreat their policy after Afghan war. They left Afghanistan. That was one of the reasons Afghanistan there became a vacuum, and terrorists filled that vacuum. And this time America will not do it again. We expect it.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Rizvi, how important is the outcome of the U.S. presidential election in your eyes? To Pakistan, I should say.
I pray the next president would change a bit his foreign policy vis-a-vis Pakistan, because as the brother said, when world fought the last war against communism in Afghanistan, then there was a vacuum, and militants and terrorists filled that vacuum, and Pakistan is paying the price for that vacuum till this date. So when the United States army gets away from this Afghanistan, so they should not keep that vacuum there, and they should help Pakistan in curbing terrorism and extremism. It's very important. If they will not do if they will not look like this, then it will carry on. But vis-a-vis for the people of America, I wish the first day which we watched the debate here in the presidential Republican Watch Party, although Romney won that debate, I think, I wish the issues as economic issues and healthcare and other issues be solved by the next president.
Such insightful opinions. I do appreciate all of you sharing your thoughts with us. You've done a lot so far. Do you have anything going on today, or any one organization you'll be visiting?
Yeah, well, we have to go to a temple, I think, today, and we visited some other places. Yesterday we had gone to a Jordan High School. It was
I went there.
Yeah.
That was the high school I went to.
It was a good experience. We were 90 minutes in the classroom talking directly to the students. It was a nice experience, and we have other places to visit also. Some places affiliated with the Christian, Mormon Christianity and other places, or temple and other things. Yeah.
Well, I hope your experience here continues to be a positive one. And once again, thank you so much. And I asked you before, have you guys have never been skiing, right? Have you ever been skiing? Would you want to go skiing?
One day.
Down a big icy mountain with snow going really fast? You should. Well, you guys should try it out. Obviously, there's no snow yet. You should come back in a couple months and check it out. What do you say?
We'll try it.
Maybe?
It will be a good
All right.
experience.
Well, thank you so much, all of you gentlemen. I do appreciate it. Once again, have a great time in Utah, and be sure to check out more information with the Utah Council for Citizen Diplomacy online. We'll be right back here on the Mountain Morning Show.